Hey everybody, before you continue watching the video, make sure you give the channel a like and subscribe. Go and follow us on Instagram. Go and check out all the different social media scenarios. Make sure if you're enjoying the content, go there, like, subscribe, follow, so we can keep putting stuff out. If you've got any questions, leave a comment. All right, make a comment on either of our pages and we'll answer them as soon as we can.
And the other thing, like we're having a coffee before here today, Jim, and you said, look, I would love my teenager son to start in jiu-jitsu for the possibility that he will get to know a lot of other role models. You know what I mean? A lot of people from different backgrounds and different multicultural.
I think it's Brazilian jiu-jitsu specifically. When you look at the people we've got, they come from all walks of life.
Yeah.
That's an important one. Some strong, some weak, some fat, large, muscular, doctors, lawyers, tradies. It's a reflection of society.
Yeah.
But the one common goal is, and one thing jiu-jitsu is, it's a dangerous sport, right? And you have to look after the people the training. And you're also training with people of different ages and different stages in their life. And in many ways, the older people become mentors for the younger ones.
Yeah.
And we see that all the time with the junior ones who, quite frankly, they don't have the discipline potential at home or at school, and this gives them that discipline. But it also gives them an achievement. And I think it sets them up really good for life if they are persistent with it.
Yeah.
It changes them. You've seen that in a lot of kids who've come in at 12, 13, and by the time they're 20, they're literally what we call model citizens. They're a joy to be around.
Yeah.
And the other thing that jiu-jitsu does, I think, is break down age barriers.
Yeah, big time.
Huge,
Big
you know.
time.
I mean, I'm
Which
on a
normal society living wouldn't have that.
it wouldn't at all. And for me, I've never felt, because I've always done sport, I've never felt that. But certainly in jiu-jitsu, I have to, I look at, the age and I think, Jesus, I'm old, And at the same time, I don't feel it when I'm training,
No.
And I think that's it breaks that down and gives you an insight for the kids to improve. And I think that's a good thing. But you think about it, any club, whether it's soccer, whether it's anything really, where there is a problem that let's take soccer and rugby. Say it starts at school, there's a coach, but he's teaching just kids.
Yeah.
Whereas in jiu-jitsu, you come to a class over 14 to 70. That's the difference.
Yeah, true.
And then,
good point, Jim.
and if in your life you have no interaction with older people, and you just respect them, this is going to change on the floor. Because nothing worse than you think you're tough, and the 70-year-old is squeezing your neck, right?
And you can't do anything about it.
You can't do anything about it. And I think that's the subtle difference between jiu-jitsu and potentially any other sport that you might do in life.
That's a really good point. And Paul White, we had on the podcast, talked about that a lot. Is like you bring it back to like this playful nature that a lot of people in those age differences don't have anymore. You know what I mean? Like a guy that's 70 doesn't have the ability to be playful, and the guy that's 14 or 15 or whatever doesn't have the ability to be playful or engage in this type of thing across age barriers like you're talking about.
And this age barrier, I mean, it is an issue because, I mean, if you look at society now, there's a lot of disrespect
absolutely.
to also older people. Some older people are disrespectful to younger people. This all disappears when you're on the mat. And the only thing that's important is that you're disciplined, and particularly when you roll with other people, and enjoying their company regardless.
And I think something else that's even deeper is people show respect to your merit, all right, rather than your appearance or who you think you are or which family you're from or whatever. It's your merit right here on the mat. And this is something that I think is also another area of the benefits of jiu-jitsu is there's nothing else you can focus on. The merit is given to the person that acts in the correct way and has the ability to apply jiu-jitsu in an effective way. Like, guys that do well or girls that do well in jiu-jitsu are shown respect and are given respect for their merit of being good at the thing that they're engaging in, as well as with their character. Because if you've got a bad character and you're the best at jiu-jitsu, people still don't want to train with you.
But there's more that, I mean, even from a grading perspective, we grade people on attitude, on
100%.
and not just
their merit of application.
It's we look at the whole picture, and that's why not everybody has to be a competitor, but you look at the whole package, and this is what you want as a club to get people's character improves. I think if they continue with it.
I think it's interesting because like there's like a lot of sayings and stuff where it's like it takes a village to raise a child and stuff like that, which is a very true statement, but that's removed from society now. It doesn't exist anymore. You don't have all the grandparents involved and all the uncles and aunties and everything involved anymore. They're in isolation.
But this is it.
This recreates it and reintroduces it back into society, and that's why I think, like you're saying, you have so many positive benefits of this stuff, is because as much as we're evolving as a species and a race and stuff like that, man, as a organism, we haven't changed much over the last million years. So the stuff we used to do is actually the most effective way to live and develop and stuff like that. But we've removed that from normal behavior. And
there's, rather than think of yourself, I mean, this is the problem, I think, in society now. Everything's me.
Yeah.
When you come in, there's a pecking order, and you have to fit in with that. And yes, it's maybe, let's call it the belt system, but certainly you have to fit in, and you find what your position is. And when you walk through the door the first time, your position is right at that bottom. And if you want to get there, then
you have to do all the work.
You have to do the work, and you have to be respectful. You have to just learn to be almost humble, if you like. So I think it's forgetting about as a self-defense mechanism. I think the structure of it develops the community, if you like. And,
absolutely. I just think it's such an interesting aspect of all of this stuff. Like, just it's this perfect environment that pretty much recreates, like, how we started as tribes and stuff like that. You're reintroducing this like tribe situation where you're engaging with people of different sizes, ages, sexes, everything, and they're all helping you and you're all helping each other evolve and improve. And man, you're going back to like a village situation where everybody's involved and everybody understands and everybody's bouncing off and helping and teaching each other, which doesn't actually exist that much.
And there's no room for prejudice. You don't care what sex, color, religion they are. You're there for one purpose, and that purpose is to learn jiu-jitsu and look after each other. And that's really it. And it makes sense to me. But the longer I'm in it, it's a lifetime thing. It's not something you do for a couple of years. But it's a great thing to have in your life, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And I don't know anybody who's I mean, of course, you get the people who do 1 year and 2 years and quit. But the ones who've done more than 5, let's say, realize the benefits. And the ones who do 5, they're going to stay. Very rarely, unless there's a tragic situation or whatever. But the ones who stay are in it for life. And what we find is that in most cases, they're nice people to be around.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
I can say that with authority. I think with the club, we've seen people come and go. But in general, if you've known them for a long time and they've persisted, regardless, they'll change the way they think as well, which is important.
Thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you give it a like, subscribe and a follow. Check out all our different social media platforms. There's heaps of content coming out. There's different snippets and content on different platforms. So make sure you're on everything. And again, if it helped you out, recommend to somebody else and hopefully it'll help them out too.